Are your old tricks not leading to weight loss like they used to? Well, that could be caused by a whole load of things, but pretty much all of them are improved by making sure that you are maintaining and building your muscle mass. I'm Heather and I help busy women feel well. I've got 20 years experience in helping literally hundreds of clients achieve consistent exercise routines and make sustainable changes to their diet. And in this video, I'm going to tell you when you need to care about your muscle mass. I'm going to tell you why you need to care about your muscle mass, and I'm going to tell you how to improve your muscle mass as well. So, when do you need to care about it? Well, the right question would be, when do you not need to care about it? Because it is always important throughout your whole life to make sure that you have got a good amount of muscle on your body. I always think that the difference between people who exercise and people who don't exercise just gets wider and wider the older that we get. If you think back to being at school and college and those younger years of our lives, the people that were really sporty and exercised a lot weren't that different to the people who didn't exercise and weren't sporty. Whereas by the time you get to sort of even mid-30s or so, you start to notice that those who don't exercise are more likely to have some sort of health condition, they're more likely to have some sort of niggly injury, they're more likely to generally not feel great. And that gap just widens and widens the older that we get. And I think it's really important to notice that, because I think that helps spur us on to make a commitment to maintaining our muscle and our fitness as we get older. Now, I do think that there is a particular moment in life where the muscle mass becomes really very important to maintain and build. And that is as we approach 40, mid-40s, and we start to see hormone change. Going through perimenopause, it is so important to really work on your muscle mass. And then again, when we get much older, it's again supremely important to work on our muscle. So it's important throughout your whole life, but the older you get, the more important that it is. So why is that? When you're young, keeping your muscle going, it keeps you strong, it keeps you nice and bendy, it helps you be super powerful and explosive when you're doing exercise and moving around. It's a really helpful skill. As you start to come to perimenopause, the strength in the muscle just helps everything. It helps balance your hormones. It helps your sleep quality. It helps keep your brain working. It stops you feeling like you're falling apart. It reduces your risk of injuries. It helps you feel good. It's such an important thing in that phase of life. And then as you get older, maintaining strength, maintaining mobility is crucial. Grip strength and balance are really tied in with mortality risk. So making sure that you can grip stuff and balance is really, really important. People often have a goal of being able to do whatever it is that they're doing for as long as they can. And while doing those things does go a really long way, when you underpin it with mobility work and strength work, it really maintains your ability to do what you're doing forever. I often think that strength work kind of transfers into anything else that you want to do in a way that other stuff doesn't transfer into strength work. It really is supremely important for every single thing. And I can't emphasize that enough. It is the closest thing there is to a magic pill. So how do we do it? Well, the best baseline generic advice that I can give you is to do full body strength training 2 or 3 times a week. I think this is a good generic place to begin. But this said, I have clients who do much better by only doing strength work once a week, and I have clients who need to do stuff more often in order to reach their goals as well. But a good middle of the ground, research-backed, generic place to begin will be 2 or 3 strength training sessions a week, and then listen to what your body has to tell you from that amount that you're doing. There is even research that shows that doing significantly less than this, even doing 1 or 2 exercises once a week, can be enough to significantly reduce or stop age-related muscle loss. So the real heart of the matter is anything that you can do to improve your strength is going to be having a positive effect. Now, when you're doing your full body workouts, you want to make sure that you are working your full body. So that means that you need to do something that's going to work the front of your legs. You need to do something that's going to work the back of your legs and your bum muscle. You need to do something that's going to work your stomach. You need to do something that's going to work the pressing, the forwards movement through your chest, and the pulling, the backwards movement through your upper back. Bonus points if you can do some overhead work as well. And it's important that we attack all of these different movement patterns fairly regularly if we're to maintain our ability to do them. Now, there are 1,000,001 ways that you can do that, and I'll make separate videos on how to actually structure an exercise program with the specific exercises involved. But for now, just know that work everything 2 or 3 times a week and try to do somewhere between 1 to 3 lots of each exercise each time that you do your workouts, and base that on your experience level. This is totally new to you. You need to do much less than someone who it's not totally new to. Now, if you start where you are and build up, you're much more likely to find it approachable, you're much more likely to stick with it, and you're much less likely to get hurt or injured along the way. So you can do floor-based exercises if that's the right place for you to begin. You can use body weight. You don't have to hold weights to start off with. You don't even have to do squats and hinges and lunges and all of these kind of key strength exercises if your body isn't ready for them yet. There is always a way to start on the ground floor and move on from there. The other things that you need to do are to fuel yourself sufficiently. So that means eating enough food in general and getting enough protein into your body. And ideally, you want at least 2 grams of protein per kilo of your body weight. And that means the protein content of the food. So 100 grams of chicken is not 100 grams of protein. There is about 30 something grams of protein in 100 grams of chicken. So if that's total news to you, it's worth getting on Google and seeing if you can work out exactly what you need to eat in order to get enough protein. And that's something else that becomes even more important as we age, because our ability to digest the protein and get the good stuff out of it actually reduces as we get older as well. The final ingredient to gaining muscle is sleep. Sleep is magic for everything, and I think if you can make sure you're getting a good 6, 7, 8 hours of pretty much undisturbed sleep in proper darkness every night in a pretty good routine style, so same sort of bedtime, same sort of wake up time, then that's going to really underpin all of that hard work that you're putting in to gaining muscle. Now, I'd love to hear how you get on. Give this a try for 6 weeks and see what you notice. Hopefully, you'll notice some change to the shape of your body. Hopefully, you'll notice some changes to things that you're able to do that you hadn't been able to do before. Common ones are people saying, oh, I can do my shoelaces up now. It's much easier to get down there. I had a lady the other day who's been working in her garden, and she said, I hadn't thought about gardening being my target, but actually I really noticed that I could do stuff out there that I couldn't do before. And I think those sorts of things, allowing yourself to notice things that you are achieving, is a really great way to help yourself develop more consistency. So good luck, and I look forward to hearing how you get on.